This is all about the big lawsuits and stuff with Big Pharma and stuff. Once you realize that the oil companies and all these things are tied into one, they do the same thing. You can't run. You know, it's like I tell people. All that stuff you buy on Wish. It's like you just like anybody like you see tattoos like tattoo machines. You have these companies that design and patent them and build real expensive ones with good motors and armature bars and all these things, and then someone inside engineering says, well, we can use the same fundamental ideas and do it for cheaper, and then they ship it out the side door. Well, it's the same thing that happened with Loratab and all these oxycodone. Don't think that the methamphetamine epidemic happened in a trailer. See, it takes scientists, it takes people with a background in math and being able to mix alkalis and acids and all these other things to be able to do this. And when you realize at the same time Loratab and Percocet and oxycodone and all these other things coming out is when they were phasing out amitriptyline. And amitriptyline was also known as Elavil. And then with Elavil you had liquid dioxazepine. And what they did was it went from a pain pill to like a coverall. It went to they said it was a depression and all these things. And they started giving it to people in jail. See, where I'm getting at is methamphetamine is no different than synthetic heroin, no different than Loratab, no different than Midol, a really strong Midol with caffeine in it. And I think that's what ephedrine is it's just a caffeine-based chemical. But ice isn't that. Ice is grown. It's a biological. I mean, it's a spore. It grows. It's not, you got to think, nothing is meant to be shot up, Unless you're a phlebotomist or someone trained in that in a sterile area, you're not supposed to inject anything into your veins. That's where you get your hepatitis C. That's where you get your AIDS. That's where, when you penetrate your vascular system. See what happens when you have the cure for something. Rich fucking companies, oil companies and pharmacy companies will try to fucking kill you. Because they don't want their secret out. They don't want you to know that there's really not that many people that have ever cooked meth in their life. There's not very many people that, you get some people that do that shake and bake shit, but then they blow themselves up and all that. But to sit down and really look at, I want you to think about the crack epidemic during the 80s. It wasn't a cocaine epidemic. It was an Arm & Hammer epidemic, an alkali being smoked. An alkali being smoked into your system, that's a bad deal. And anything acidic in your body will cause it to trigger it, and it's just like a volcano eruption of things. And anytime you introduce chemicals into your body, it triggers a safety mechanism that speeds your metabolism up because it lets your body know, hey, I've ingested some toxic chemicals. I need to stay awake and mass metabolize it. Well, see, that's what happens when someone like me, when you've been on a chemical so long or a biological, you have to have it. It becomes part of your genetic makeup. But it also made me very, 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 very high frequency. And on top of that, on top of the other things that I'm a part of, made me very important, very strategically powerful, and a very wanted commodity, not so much as a human being anymore, but as a specimen in a laboratory, as a number. See, at one point, I always talk about with women, at one point, you say your body is yours. But just like I said, What if you had the life-curing chromosome or DNA in your blood that could do away with cancers, that could do away with AIDS, could do away with autism, it could do away with a lot of things. At what point in time is your body yours? And at what point in time is it a moral obligation that you have to go in and go through some painful fucking testing, like having bone marrow removed from your fucking bone and having it ran? And it's painful. That shit's fucking painful. It's not like they can numb you for it. I mean, they're gonna fucking tap in the bone marrow and drag that shit out. So that's what we have. So like I said, you know, you got me backed. I backed myself in a corner because I'm not dumb. You guys just don't know the difference between marijuana, K2, and ice anymore. You don't. So what did we do? To keep it out of the hands of Big Pharma, I smuggled it in over the border and spread it all through the dispensaries and flooded every trap house, every dope house with a biologic. As long as it's not shot up, injected into your vascular system, you can't charge for it.